Hey, it's Edge here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for Ethereum. I'll cover wave analysis with Elliott Waves theory and provide multiple scenarios the price may take and explain why I prefer one coin over another. Let's take a look at the different possibilities. Again, starting from the lows of November 10th, I'm looking at this scenario here, this very sideways action. So in here, we had two different counts mainly, where again the same structure here is, or the first structure is the same as this one. So this would be an A and B. Then we would be targeting the wave C, because again we have taken out the lows of A wave or the origin of A wave with the wave B, and the idea is that we would be creating some kind of expanded flat or a running flat. In here, however, there is a possibility where we could be creating some kind of a diagonal structure, with the idea of having this as an A, B, and then a diagonal on that C wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we would have 3 wave pullback here to that wave 2. So this would be an A, B, a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Again, for that one, we would need overlap on this structure over here. Otherwise, we can't really adjust that or have it as a 5-way structure. However, again, if that is not going to be playing out and we don't get the tag into these before heading up higher, we have an alternate count here. This one is where we have again a 5-way structure in here ending at these highs, but again instead we would have this as a 1, 2, 1, 2, beginning 3, 4, and 5 in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Then we could have this as an A, B, C of an expanded flat instead. This looks pretty good to me as well. I don't really mind either of these. I feel like this proportion seems pretty good for a wave 2. However, again, it is a bit longer than the wave 1 in time, so that makes it less likely to be a wave 2 in comparison to being a wave B. So there is a chance that this would be an A, B. But again, on diagonals, we can't have expanded structures here, so on this corrective part, so that is not something that we can label there. Now, after that point or low point here, we could be labeling this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into a wave 1, 2, another 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, this is where the Bitcoin had a 1, 2, 1, 2, I think something very similar to this before going up higher. On ETH, we had a bit different structure where we had possible this finishing basically with a wave 1, 2, and possible 1, 2 then. And then we would have a 3rd wave higher. Again, these targets of extensions are not really fit too well for all these targets. Again, we don't hit the 1.618 for this possible 3rd up in here. But again, these are still looking pretty decent as is. We do have the highest high on here on the 3rd of 3rd basically, which is what we're seeking. Also, where Bitcoin made its new high here yesterday, during those news events again, ETH did not. This fits more into the idea of this being a wave 4, or at least a start of it. So again, if we are comparing the wave 4 in time of that previous structure or that current structure here, it actually looks like it is already larger than the previous one. This is again how we compared the Bitcoin's possible wave 4 here into the time, because again the time here did not allow us to have a larger wave degree, spending the less time than this previous one. So in here on ETH's case, it does not really matter, because again we did not have a 5th wave, and I'm not really saying that we have topped here. On this analysis, or based on this analysis, we have not topped, and we are still needing one more high here. What else? Well, if we are looking at smaller time frames, we had the 1-to-1 tag here of this move. Not really sure how I'm going to be labeling that. This definitely feels like more of a 3-way move. However, again, it does not really fit into the 1-to-1 extension. It gets to the minimum extension, however, so it can't really be traded. But again, that is a structure that could definitely be finished there. There was a chance we could be getting some kind of diagonal here. Does not really look like it. It is more of a sideways, some kind of 3-way mess here that we are getting. Most likely a double zigzag or a double combination in any case, and then another three-way pullback here and possible three-ways, so creating some kind of structure like this here. That looks more like a connector wave in my opinion. Again, it fits the extensions very well into that, like very close to that one-to-one extension. And then we have some kind of drop. Not really fan of this. I really don't know what this is part of. We could be doing something like that to get a partner leg for this one here. So we would create possibly something like this downwards. If the price goes, however, below the 12.57, which is again the 0.5 retracement of this third move here, the probabilities of this count goes drastically down. Again, if we are breaking these lows of previous wave 4, it goes even down further. And after that point, again, we don't have much in here, so the price is definitely has a potential of going all the way down to 12.37 very fast, because again, we don't have any support here basically. So keep that in mind. If we break the 12.57, then it does not really look good anymore for this potential fifth wave. Also, I don't think wave 4 is done here, but yeah, it is definitely a count that I can't really get behind at the moment. This is still the low that we currently have. There is potential we could have some kind of three-way structure here. I'm not quite sure how I would be labeling, if we want to be labeling this into some kind of diagonal. While that is possible, I don't think it's that likely. But we'll see, of course. We'll see. Somehow this still to me looks like it is missing one leg, but Bitcoin doesn't really need one leg more higher. So there is a big controversy between these two counts. So we'll see what happens. I'm short on Bitcoin already, and I took a long on Bitcoin and ETH as well on these lows here. No shorts on ETH because again I don't see it here. Then we had the other possibility, which we were talking previous as well. We had this as an A wave, ABC into an A wave, ABC into B wave. Whether it's done or not, we have already retraced 90% of it. So this qualifies it as a flat structure. So again, the meaning is that, or the difference between WXY and the flat is that we are expecting a five-way structure in here for that possible wave C. This does currently have a pretty decent symmetry between these legs. So again, this, I wouldn't count this out, or I wouldn't think that this has very low probability. It is pretty good looking in my opinion, having this as an ABC, especially since we had this as a very somewhat of a long period in comparison to this wave A here. So if we are just comparing it in time, let's see, what do we have here? More than 2 times the size. Generally when that happens, it's at wave B instead, as mentioned before. But yeah, the expectation would be that after that next high, we would be getting a five-way structure down according to this C wave. Take the liquidity possibly out from here, these lows, get the B wave in, get everybody bearish again because we are breaking the lows, and then we would be pivoting higher. But I think that is going to do it for this video. If you made it this far into the video, again, I would appreciate the likes. Link to my free Discord server in the description below. And for now, I thank you for watching and hope you have an amazing rest of your day. See you in the next video. Bye bye.